It is peak direct season, and by peak, I really mean peak, as new details emerge from Midori, Papagenos, and others. So good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. I've got a glass of water today because Super Nintendo World released a new Bowser mug, and I absolutely have to have it to complete my set. They're my favorite mugs of all time. Anyways, video games, what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. We just got done with the Summer Game Fest, with the Xbox Showcase, and we can now look forward to the Nintendo Direct, which still does not have a date and still does not have very many leaks, but they have started to come. So today I want to touch on a few news topics from over the weekend, including Direct stuff that has just dropped and just happened, and then we'll probably recap Summer Game Fest a little bit later, like after the Ubisoft thing, because there still could be some Nintendo Switch stuff there based on how Ubisoft does like Nintendo. Anyways, let me know your take on today's topics in the comments down below, and let's kick it off with this big fake Direct leak. I don't really want to focus too much on this fake Direct leak because it's a fake Direct leak. I don't know how much time we need to spend on a fake Direct leak. This person basically says there's going to be like 6 Zelda games. They say there's going to be, Mario Party Multiverse Mania, Grand Theft Auto 5. They say all sorts of things. Luigi's Mansion, F-Zero GX Remastered, yada, yada, yada. But the most important thing here is actually Papagenos' response. And this just really brings us full circle because Papagenos was teasing a Zelda game with Zelda as a playable character and then teasing it as a 2D Zelda game. And now they are reposting this Direct leak saying that they don't believe the fake Direct leak, but it has something on it that could match my prediction of a 2D Zelda game with playable Zelda. And so if we go back to the leak, we see that there is The Legend of Zelda Crown of Destiny, November 21st, 2024. Obviously, it can't be Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess HD because we know Zelda's not the main playable character there. So it has to be this Crown of Destiny game. And if we're to believe Papagenos, what he's heard and known, then we could be getting a new 2D Zelda this year. And that would be an absolutely massive title to pair alongside, Metroid Prime 4 as a big holiday push. If you could go Mario Party, 2D Zelda, Metroid Prime, boom. They're selling software like it's some sort of sizzling hotcake. But does he maybe mean just that there is a 2D Zelda touched on in here and it could be next year? Do we even trust Papagenos? Well, he was correct about the Super Mario RPG that debuted last year, so he clearly has some insider knowledge, and he does seem very connected when it comes to more of these old school games. Is it just luck that he guesses them and then they happen? Does he really have some connect? He's putting himself out here by doubling and tripling down on this 2D Zelda with Zelda as a playable character over and over and over again. He does say, though, it's a prediction. Now, is he saying this is a prediction because he knows something, or is he saying this is a prediction because he wants it to be the case? Very tough to tell. We'll have to wait and see what actually drops, because I personally don't think Pioro is going to leak this Direct's lineup. Everyone's kind of waiting for the bird to squawk so that we can know the Direct is a few days away, but I don't know that Pioro is going to talk too much this time. The Direct could be next week, it could be the week after. I think that's when it's coming. Either June 11th, June 13th, June 18th, or June 20th. To me, those seem like the 4 possible dates for the Direct. Juneteenth, June 19th will not be it. And I don't know, Wednesday feels weird this week, but maybe. I don't think it's going to be the last week at all, but a Zelda title of any kind would make this Direct elevated. Everybody seems to want Metroid Prime 4, though, and that is the big game that we are anticipating. If nothing else, we should get Metroid Prime 4 before the end of the Switch generation, because Nintendo basically promised it. They announced this thing back at the first E3 after the Switch's launch, and we haven't seen anything except a title card. Now, Midori was responding to somebody who said, "I'd genuinely be shocked if the Direct this month is as strong as this Xbox showing, and I never would have expected that going in." Yeah, the Xbox Showcase did have some really cool games. Personally, I'm most excited for Doom, I'm most excited for Perfect Dark, and I'm most excited for Life is Strange, like the true sequel to Life is Strange, honestly. But Midori says it will be peak, with a capital P. So now everybody's reading into this. This tweet has blown up since it was posted earlier this morning, and they're referencing the Direct, saying that even though the Xbox Showcase was so strong, the Direct will be peak. And that's kind of what I've expected and anticipated for a while now, that like, if this is the last Switch Direct, if Nintendo has been saving all of these games to debut at once, it's going to be a killer show. It's going to be a huge showcase, and even if it doesn't have all the games we want, it's got to have quite a bit. It's got to have like Metroid Prime or Donkey Kong or Zelda or something like that to really send home 2024, to really sell consoles and software this holiday season, and to really say, hey, we love you, Switch fans. Thanks for making us so freaking cool and successful. But it's interesting that Midori capitalizes P. Now, many people are ignoring this capital P and just saying, oh, Midori loves Japanese games, they love the Persona series, they love JRPGs. This probably just means there's a lot of RPGs. But I do think the capital P is on purpose. Midori uses punctuation, so I don't think they just accidentally keystroked a capital here. I think it's capital P for Prime. We would refer to Metroid Prime 4 as Prime, not Metroid, so a capital P makes a lot of sense, and I do believe this is Midori's way of saying, hey, Metroid Prime will be there. Now, that's not a big surprise. Everyone kind of has expected Metroid Prime to be there. In fact, if it's not there, it would be more of a shock than if it is there. I am super pumped to see this, and I do think in a relatively slow year, Metroid Prime 4 has a chance to be like a Game of the Year champion. I really believe that. I think Nintendo is going to go all out, impress us with graphics, impress us with scope and scale, and then make the best possible first-person shooter platformer that anybody's seen, with all sorts of upgrades and Metroidvania goodness, but in this case it would just be Metroidy goodness, not much Vania. I think the P is in reference to that, but I feel good knowing that Midori believes this show will be great. It tells me two things. Some people know stuff, and that it is going to be a big show. Whether it has everything you want or not, at least we're not getting a show that's Luigi's Mansion 2 reminder, Sushi Striker 2, and, that's about it. Wind Waker, maybe. Like, if we were getting a show that just had remakes, that just barely peppered the calendar so that Nintendo wasn't absent from store shelves the second half of the year and the holiday season, no way you're calling it peak. Regardless of your personal interests, the genres that you like best, the franchises that you're most excited for, peak implies that this is going to be a big show with new things. I've felt that for a long time now, but I'm glad to have somebody else buying into it. There's been a big debacle and discussion on Fama boards of like Nate Drake saying they don't care to talk about the timing of the Direct. My personal 2 cents is that nobody knows when the Direct is. That's why nobody's speaking. Maybe they really are just holding off. Maybe they just don't want articles being written about it. But I think nobody knows the exact thing. I feel like that was sort of the case with the February Direct. Nobody knew exactly what was going to happen. Nobody knew the exact timing of the Indie World. Nobody knows the exact timing of the Direct. And so I think rather than saying we don't know, it's a lot better to say we don't want to tell you. That's just my opinion. Maybe they do know. Maybe it's a week out and so nobody's saying anything yet. But I do believe that they don't really know, and Nintendo is doing a better job of keeping their things under wraps and ensuring that their secrets stay secret. I have a lot of hope for big stuff coming at this Direct, especially after Summer Game Fest. And I'm going to have to revise my predictions because there were certain games, Hollow Knight Silksong, that did not show up anywhere during Jeff Keighley's Spectacular that I think still could show up at Nintendo's show. And it's not just Hollow Knight Silksong, FYI, but we'll cover that when we get there. In the meantime, though, I wanted to touch on one little bit of Sonic news as they showed off some good Sonic X Shadow Generations gameplay, and Sonic Team's head, Takashi Iizuka, said, basically, if you want it, we'll think about it for the next remaster. He said, so when we remastered Sonic Colors and it was Sonic Colors Ultimate, we wanted to kind of think about what we could bring next as a remastered title. And at that time, Sonic Generations was kind of what everyone was really wanting and was really hungry for. So that's why we chose to do Sonic Generations. And we added in the Shadow Generations portion. But depending on what people like out there, if there's a title people like, we'll think about it for the next remaster. So basically, I expect to get all the Sonic games on Switch and Switch 2 at some point. They're just going through the motions. I do think they should focus on Sonic Frontiers 2. I think there's a lot of potential there. But Sonic and Shadow Generations is getting a lot of positive buzz, and that one's out this year. Hallelujah. A game we can play in 2024, dropping October 25th. In the meantime, though, I'll be back way sooner with another video. So hit that like button if you enjoy what I do here. I appreciate y'all so much. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.